Welcome back everybody to another video, and with Avengers Endgame now being released, I figured now is a good time to actually tell, what my rankings are for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, all 22 movies, due to the fact that, now that we're at the end of this saga. So why not, I'm going to go ahead and get into that, and also keep in mind that this is my rankings on how I feel about these movies. This is how, where I consider them to be on the total poll. Not just saying that they're bad movies. They are all good movies in their own right. But this is where I consider them, and it usually goes by watchability. So without further ado, here's my list, guys. Coming in at number 22 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Even though this movie was still a good movie and everything, I just did not connect with it like I did with the very first one. And to me, it's a very forgettable movie. I've only watched it maybe twice ever since this came out. It's not one that I want to watch all the time. Coming in at number 21 is Ant-Man and the Wasp, another sequel that just didn't live up to what the original did. I did like the Wasp's character, and I did like Ghost as the character, but this movie just didn't do enough for me to like it as much as the original. Coming in at number 20 is Captain America, the First Avenger. This is just one movie I just have not really rewatched a lot. I mean, it's a good movie and everything, but it's just not one that I really cared to watch a lot. And maybe, now after Endgame, maybe I need to go back and actually watch this a little bit more and maybe raise it a little bit more, because I think it's still a good movie. I haven't been interested in it as much. Coming in at number 19 is Thor: The Dark World, and I gotta admit, I liked this movie when it first came out, but now after rewatching it a few times since then, yeah, it is not one of the best Marvel movies that there is. Coming in at number 18 is Iron Man 3. Actually a decent movie, but definitely missed opportunities with the Mandarin and everything as far as the villain for this movie and everything, but that's where I think. Coming in at number 17 is Ant-Man, and to be honest, when I first heard about Ant-Man, I was like, who the fuck would watch this movie? But then I seen the preview, loved the preview, watched the movie, and I actually like Ant-Man. I hate the villain. I think the villain is one-dimensional, but, what can he do? But Ant-Man comes in at number 17. Coming in at number 16 is Thor Ragnarok. A lot of people loved the hell out of this movie. I don't know. After watching it the first time, I didn't like the different direction and everything. But maybe I just got to give it another try and everything. But that's where I am on this movie. I just wasn't into it as much as previous Thors. Coming in at number 15 is Doctor Strange, a movie that looked like Inception when I first seen it and everything. It looked very neat and cool, but another one of those movies I wasn't really into it, I think, when I was watching it, and it just did not resonate with me on wanting to watch it again. So therefore, that's the reason why it's so far down on this list. Coming in at number 14 is Spider-Man Homecoming, and for me, as a big Spider-Man fan, to have this one so far down on the list is actually pretty bad. I do like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I do like Michael Keaton as Vulture, but everything else just wasn't my Spider-Man, and that's just how I feel about this movie. I mean, it just wasn't a great movie. Coming in at number 13 is Iron Man 2, which was basically the real send-off to get the Avengers started, and that's the reason. The movie does have a lot of good moments in it. It wasn't as very good back then as it is now. You will rewatch this movie now, and now it's a lot better. Coming in at number 12 is Captain Marvel. I love the 90s throwback that we had in this movie. I'm not real big on Brie Larson, but, the movie still was a good, decent movie, so therefore I like this one on there. Coming in at number 11 is Black Panther. I wasn't big into this movie like a lot of other people have been. I mean, for it to be as big as it was and everything, I just didn't get into it. It was a great movie, though, still, so that's the reason why it's so high on this list. But because it does have some rewatchability to it for me. And now we get into my top 10, and number 10 is the first Thor movie. I actually really enjoyed this movie. It is one that I can rewatch, especially when you see how far Thor just came all the way to Endgame and everything, and this is where it started, where he was just a brat. And I just liked him and Loki in this movie. It was just a good movie, and I liked this one. Coming in at number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm going to be honest with you, when this movie was coming out, I had no interest in watching this fucking movie. I was like, this movie, no, no. And then, I mean, lo and behold, I mean, I love these characters. I love Chris Pratt, you know, Star-Lord and everything. And this movie was just great. I actually really enjoyed it. Coming in at number 8 is The Incredible Hulk, a movie that actually doesn't get a lot of credit for what it is. I mean, this Hulk movie is the best one that we got. A lot better than Ang Lee's Hulk. And I just liked Edward Norton in this character and everything, and just it was a good movie. And coming in at number 7 is the movie that started everything with Iron Man, the very first one. Just love this movie. It's one of those ones I can always go back and rewatch. I do hate the villain in the movie. I didn't like, you know, Jeff Bridges as a villain, but I just didn't like the fact that it was just another Iron Man that he's going up against. But, oh well. Good movie though. Coming in at number 6 is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And a lot of people loved the hell out of this movie. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a huge step up from the first Captain America movie. And it was just a great movie. The Russo brothers just delivered with this movie. And it shows. And that's the reason why they got the job for Infinity War and Endgame. But definitely a fantastic movie. Coming in at number 5 is Captain America Civil War, basically Avengers 2.5, because that's exactly what this movie actually is. I mean, it has almost all the damn characters in it. We introduce Spider-Man, Black Panther, all that in this movie, and it's just a great movie overall, and just very enjoyable. Coming in at number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron, the second movie. I just didn't feel that this movie was as good as the first one. It's the weaker of all the Avengers movies. Definitely, but I did like Ultron as the villain. I kind of enjoyed that. I wouldn't mind actually seeing him return in maybe some kind of capacity, and maybe a little bit better. Coming in at number 3 is Avengers Endgame. Yes, this movie is not as good as I like the other than my top 2, but the movie is still a fantastic movie. I love the ending of it. I just think it was very slow at the beginning, and I think that's one of the reasons why, because they had to explain so much and have everything going on, where the other two movies in this, the other two ones I have in this, they have a lot more action in them, and the reason why. Coming in at number 2 is The Avengers. And the reason why this one is still so high on my list is one of my favorite comic book movies, because of the fact of this was the one where we got all of them in one damn movie. And I just remember being just mesmerized by the fact that all of them were on one damn movie instead of all piece by piece. It was just so great. And that's the reason why this movie is still so high on my list. And coming in at number 1, no surprise here, is Avengers Infinity War. This movie just had everything that you would want in a damn movie. I mean, just when I'm watching this, it's just every time I was like, I think, you know, my dad, he would love to see this kind of shit right here, right, and how this movie was. And the fact that, you know, they lost. And just overall, I mean, action throughout the whole fucking movie. Just fantastic movie. And that's the reason why this is my number 1 favorite one. Well, there you go, guys. My rankings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you have any questions or anything like that about why I rank certain ones where, just leave it in the comment box below, and I will answer you and let you know reason why. If you want me to do a full review on a movie, just let me know as well. Till next time.